Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mina. We are on day 2 of the Summerween readathon. Today I'm feeling a little bit better, a little bit more positive. I know yesterday I started the video by saying I'm gonna be much more positive about my Summerween reading, and then the rest of the video was just me venting and like complaining about my book. However, I have gotten a little bit further along in If You Go Down into the Woods. I've decided that I'm going to continue reading this book because even though there were some problematic language issues that I noted in yesterday's vlog, I really do want to get to the heart of this story and like the horror elements of this story, because I feel like I can't really judge the book as a whole. Yes, it has problematic language, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the entirety of the book is problematic. And so I really do want to keep going to kind of see like where things go, if the main character develops and becomes a better person and stops using like inappropriate language. That would be something for me to look forward to as I'm continuing along in the novel. So I didn't get too much done since I last updated you. I am now on page 122. However, we have finally gotten to the horror bits of this book. As I said yesterday, I really do wish that the author started sprinkling in a little bit of the spooky elements of this book within the first 100 pages, because it really just felt like a book about kids hanging out in the summer, dealing with bullying. And like, yes, I do find those things to be fun to read about and interesting, and it does remind me a lot of It and books that are similar to It, but I do want to see the creepy, like from maybe not like the first 10 pages, but at least within the first 50 pages, so that we can establish the genre of this book. Because if I didn't know any better, if I didn't read the blurb, if I didn't know anything about this book, reading the first 100 pages, I would not assume that this is a horror novel. I would just think that this is like a coming of age kids book, you know, like a YA book. However, that being said, now that I'm on page 122, we have made it to part 2, where it says the car and the collector. So they have found the abandoned car, they have opened up the car, and they have now found that there is a dead body in the trunk, like a decomposed dead body. The descriptions in this book are really visceral, like you can actually like feel the experience as it's happening, and that's something that I do appreciate. We also had a little spooky moment. One night, Joey's in his bedroom, and late at night, he sees like a shadowy figure outside of his house. It's like a man in a fedora hat and a trench coat, and he references this as being the collector. But we don't know who he is yet, what his role is in the story, so I'm interested to see where this goes. The other comment that I wanted to make is that this is so similar to certain things that happen in It. And normally, like, I don't mind things like that. I love when books pull from inspiration of other books that I love. For example, The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor also is heavily influenced by It by Stephen King, and I adore that novel. However, with this one, I feel like some things are just like ripped directly from It, but just with the characters in this book. There's a scene where the kids are getting bullied by a sheriff in town, and they all decide to like pick up rocks and throw it at the sheriff. And I just thought, that happened exactly in It. So I would have liked the author to deviate a little bit from his inspiration and kind of like come up with a little bit more original scenes than things that are like kind of copied, you know, or almost exactly the same as from It by Stephen King. The other thing that I wanted to mention, they did reference the Losers Club in there, because they were like, oh, we should come up with our own group name. And then the girl of the group was like, why don't we call ourselves the Losers Club? And I was like, please tell me they are not going to be calling themselves the Losers Club, because then I will just like quit right here and now. And then Joey was like, actually, I think that name is taken, and I was like, okay, good. So they're known as the Outsiders. Last point before I move on, I also really like in the beginning, even though it's not really creepy, I do like the fact that it's set partly in an amusement park, like a town fair. That's like one of my favorite settings when it comes to thrillers and horrors, so that to me was really fun to read, and I feel like this book gives off a really strong summer vibe, which is something that I was looking for. So overall, I do not hate the book, contrary to my comments yesterday. Problematic language, definitely. Do I think that it's not very original? Yes. But I'm going to keep reading and hope that it gets better, and I will continue giving you guys my thoughts as I go along in the day. So I will see you guys later. Okay, so before I go back to my reading, I do want to make myself some breakfast. I'm going to do some oatmeal and like berries on top, and then I think I'm going to make myself a coffee because one of the prompts for Summerween is to make a drink while you're reading. So I think I'll make my breakfast, make coffee, do a little bit of reading, and yeah. Let me just go ahead and do that. So this is the almond milk that I like to use in my oatmeal and my coffee. We just got it and I just tried it a few days ago. It is really good. It has a very like nice smelling vanilla scent and it tastes good to me. So highly recommend this one. All right, here we are. Got my oatmeal. I put cinnamon, honey, and a little bit of coconut oil in there because I really like coconut flavor. And then some raspberries and blackberries on top. Here is my really big glass of iced coffee. I don't know how this is going to taste, to be honest, because I used instant instead of like using my Ninja coffee machine. So we shall see. But I'm going to eat this, drink this, and then probably get some reading. I think I have to do some cleaning and then I'll do some reading. So it is a little bit later in the day. It's now like 3:30-ish. I'm actually getting ready to go with my husband to one of our friends' house. They are having like a little barbecue event thing for my friend's husband to celebrate something. So we're gonna go there. It's like a surprise. We have to be there before 4:30, so I'm hoping that we actually make it on time before he comes in and they do like the big surprise. And I did get a little bit of reading done the past couple of hours. I'm now on page like 165 of If You Go Down to the Woods. I don't have too many thoughts. I mean, it's kind of just like trekking along with the story, but nothing. I guess there was kind of like a significant moment where the main character finally comes face to face with this entity known as the Collector. And I have to say, I feel like the presence of the Collector was a little bit more eerie and creepy when we didn't actually like meet him. I think just like the idea of the Collector and like seeing him as a shadowy figure from afar, to me, is a lot more scary than actually like coming face to face with him and like having a conversation and being attacked by him. I just think that in some horror movies and horror books, when the entity is more mysterious, you don't actually see them, you don't actually encounter them, it leaves more to the imagination, and sometimes that is more frightening than actually seeing them up close. He wasn't like described up close, so it's not like I have like a good, you know, image of that, but I don't know how I feel about like them coming into contact with him and the way that it happened. So I'm kind of still like meh about this book. I think that it could have been better, but at this point I don't hate it. We are not having as much problematic language issues as we did within the first 80 pages of the book. The same word has been used again one more time since I last updated you, but other than that, I mean, can't really complain too much about like it being problematic, but definitely not like going to be a 5-star read for me. It's kind of just like an okay read this far. So, okay, I'm going to go. Hopefully I will be back not too late so that I can get some more reading done before the end of the night, and I will update you guys before the day is over. Okay, you guys, it is now the end of the night. It's like after 9 o'clock, and we got home a lot later than expected from my friend's house and my in-laws' house. So I'm probably going to just update you guys more tomorrow with my reading. I didn't get a chance to get anything done since I was home. So I will probably be doing some reading before I go to bed, and then I'll just talk to you guys about that tomorrow. Hoping I can finish If You Go Down into the Woods tomorrow so that I have at least like 4 days to devote to the other novel on my TBR. And then I can hopefully get started on Mooncakes, which is the graphic novel that I also have planned to read this week. So here's hoping I can finish If You Go Down into the Woods by tomorrow. I think I have, I want to say like 100 pages or so left of that, so it shouldn't be too bad. I also really want to watch the new Fear Street movie that is out on Netflix. It just came out this weekend, and I think it's going to be perfect for Summerween, and it's definitely going to have those like horror retro 80s summer camp vibes. So really looking forward to that. I might watch it tomorrow and then also give you guys my thoughts on that tomorrow as well. So I will see you guys day 3 tomorrow on Sunday, and I hope that you guys had a wonderful day today. Bye!